Andrew.
What's good, YouTube? Joel's Funeral here, and who do I have here?
Johnny Santos.
And what'd you do this week?
We win 4-0 undefeated, first place. We're Rescue Ace. No Fiendsmith, just pure and hand traps.
Nice.
I love those, yeah. So.
All right. Do you want to do shout-outs now, or
Yes.
do you want to do that at the end?
Let's do a shout-out real quick. Shout-out to Josiah. Shout-out to Joel behind the camera. Shout-out to Papito. And shout-out to Chase.
And can't forget Puerto
shout
Rico.
Out to everybody, and shout-out to everybody. Dan, Nick, everybody. Matt, Morbus Nexus, he's not here. Shout-out to everybody. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, let's get into the deck profile. We'll start with the main deck.
All right, let's do main deck real quick. So I put this deck right before we started the tournament, and my thought process was like, I've been grinding and winning with Tenpai, but I'm like, I want to switch something that's more skillful, can go first or second. I used to play this deck, so I love it. So I'm like, until I get the Fiendsmith stuff, let me cook a little list to try to cook at our locals, and that's what happened. So we'll go triple hydrant. Some people want to play two. I don't care. This is not Fiendsmith. I want to maximize my turn. I don't want to break. So we'll go that with this same package of Airlifter and Rhoda. Nothing else to say there. And the standard preventer to Turp. I've seen some people cutting this to 1. If you go on a grind where against almost any deck as a format, there's going to be a grind branded. It don't matter voiceless. It don't matter Snake Eye. And the Runic White Forest, they're going to be a grind. You're going to need the second one. So I'm not going to struggle with that. So I play 2. And then that's it for the monsters, for the Rescue Ace monsters. We go for the spells. We go triple emergency. If you play 2 and you didn't top a regional or a YCS, you're playing it wrong. So play 3. Unless you actually work for you 2 at a high level, then okay. So play 3, maximize it, and then the 1/1 with his field spell. This card's crazy. Sometimes I side deck this out going second. The card is still crazy. Additional normal summon baits a lot of people. You can normal summon, yeah, you can just know, but a lot of times it actually does come up that you go Airlifter, normal summon. You have this in hand. They trigger if you don't have an emergency to dodge this. You can literally just go here and then go the bait the ash or whatever, and then you go and then you still go full combo. So I like the card, love it. And then we go with the same 2 traps. Nothing else to say here. Total deck I think is 41, 42. We'll go with the wanted package. Just this with these 3. Yeah, some people can play 1. You can play 1 technically. I like to maximize everything. I don't want to yeah, so I like to play 2. 2 is perfect, 3 is too much, 1 is too little. So that package, and that's it for like engine wise, and then we'll go with text and like non-engine. Been loving for like the last couple of weeks, couple tournaments, Cyclones in the main deck. Every deck, if you really think about it, every deck in the format, Rogue or Meta has a great or crazy field spell or continuous spell, and include sometimes trap cards. Worst case scenario, if I go second, I can like trade 1 for 1 for whether Imperm or Droplet. It's actually very relevant, and every match it's coming out, so I'm keeping it there.
Also, another thing you can do is if you're going against like a Fiendsmith deck, you can also target the monster that's equipped, and you can banish it, and then Desiree is
and they can't go there. They can do it. So like that's actually, it hasn't come up here because we don't have a lot of Fiendsmith here, so we only have a few. So but yeah, that's another scenario that's great. Going first or second is crazy. Then we go for the 1-ups. We go pros. 1 is the deck is still great with 1 talents. I want to play 2, but I want to keep it 1. I want every card in my deck in my hand to be alive at all times. We go 1 Call by the Grave. And that's it for the spells and everything non-engine. Now we go for the hand trap. So my favorite part of the deck, one of my favorite parts. This hand trap ratio is because of our locals or case tournaments. And so since I know like what's moving, what's trending, what's topping, what's winning, so I kind of like designed, put these hand traps for that, for what I think is best for those. So we'll go with the standard triple ash. We'll go triple Veiler. Nothing else to say here. Triple Pern. That's standard. And then I decided to do for the locals and for a case tournament, I decided to main the Bestials. We got quite a few of White Forest Runics. We have a few branded, and we have a few voiceless. So, and any other rogue that, you know, would I have to face, then I'm ready for that. So yeah, it actually came up almost every match. And then I finished it off with 2 Ogre. This is a little controversial just because we have like quite a few Tempais. So if they obviously they see the shifters, this is dead. But if I grind, if I'm playing Tenpai and they make me go first because they won the die roll, I'm okay with the grind. I'm not gonna try to OTK them if I go first. I'm gonna still play. They're gonna do it on their turn. Then I'm gonna play on my turn a little bit, and then I keep this for their turn, and I can still heal the field spell. Awkward plays, you can hit their pie dresses still, so that the card, so they can't extend with Shundra. There's awkward plays that you can like maximize your chances with Ogre. Also, if you really think about it, against Voiceless, it sucks against Branded, but it actually came up last week. It came up, actually, my round 1, it came up against Branded. One of the guys that fuses, that he uses himself as a material. I got rid of him and he couldn't use the effect because he needed to use that one as his last monster. So yeah, I love this card. But yeah, other than that, my matchups, before I forget, my matchups were round 1, Branded. Round 2 was Sprite, Fiendsmith. Round 3 was Voiceless. And round 4 was the most random. No, it was Dynamorphia. It was actually Dynamorphia, a stun. So I believe. So yeah, that was the 4. And then yeah, that's it for the main deck. I think, like I said, 41, 42. We'll have to double check. I forgot. Okay. Extra deck real quick. We'll go Enema. We know. So here I go with these for utility. There's a lot of room in the extra deck right now, so it comes up. You play a Branded, you can still link climb and try to OTK with the Celine play. So I do want both. It comes up also. So yeah, I'll do that. This barely comes up, but sometimes if you have enough, and sometimes it could be clutch by summoning a Preventer or a Hydrant underneath this. Add the other one that you add, or if you ash the previous turn, you can add the ash again. So yeah, it's just kind of like another way of there's room. IP, we often end up on IP instead of SP, and if we need to use a Unicorn or a Phoenix on a Runic Fountain, we can do that on the opponent. So that's why we don't always go to SP. Obviously, SP, I want to play 2, but right now 1 is fine. And then we go with the Nightmare package. They're all coming up again. We have room, so we're gonna use them. You can IP into this on your opponent's turn. It could be GG with that. And then we go with the Promethean. Obviously, there's many plays that we can do with Promethean, Celine, and then that access go. The spice of the extra deck, again, I wanted to test this, and it's worked out once so far, in which playing this package. This Zeus package, the small Zeus package. Why? Because I could play Fuko as well. It comes up that you have multiple Hydrants on the field. I just don't want anybody to beat me in time. So there's a lot of combo decks. Runic, especially if they have Fountain and everything, if they have everything and I got everything, there are awkward scenarios where you can't hit them for damage, but you can pierce through their life points. So that's why I want to do this. Use this and then kind of like enter battle, hit them. And you can nuke the field depending on what they got. That's pretty much the extra deck for. Nice. Yeah, actually, almost everything come up. Almost everything at some point. Okay. Side deck for this event, we'll go with the Mochamis. I love the card. So we have to. I actually play a Sprite player, a Fiendsmith Sprite on Thursday, and I stacked them so twice, and it puts a lot of pressure because everything's gonna come from the hand, or you already know. So it puts pressure. Maxi right there. We go to Nibs. It's only great against Branded.
Even then, it's not that good.
And it's not that good. So that's like the only. That's why I keep it at 2. If it comes up great,
it's good against Whitewoods.
It is Whitewoods. But since it's not so impactful, it's not good against Centurion. They play around it. Usually they can do the full combo on 4. Before the Omni Negate. It's not good against Tenpai. It's not good against Voices, so I cut it for our locals, stuff like that. Yeah, but if it comes up against, it came up against Sprite. Then we go with a couple board breakers. I'm not a huge fan of board breakers, but we still play some of them. That back row package, it comes up. You already know there's a lot of, I was gonna say another word, but I'm gonna clean it up and filter it. There's a lot of stun players. So we gotta keep, the 2 cyclones in this. Yeah, and then we can sometimes we feel very comfortable making our opponents go second with a couple board breakers and hand traps here and there, and then round it up with the board breakers for Raigeki.
At this point, do you decide into Tenpai? You got all these board breakers.
You already know. It becomes Tenpai. At this point, like a lot of go second decks for Tenpai, it's not even the deck itself. Sometimes it's actually the board breakers what gives you the win. So there it is. I'm maxing this out, and I like it so far. It could be awkward Centurion. They do awkward plays where they protect their background, stuff like that, or they keep their monsters in the fence that Raigeki can clear. Yeah, so it comes up. And then for the Go First package for this tournament, that I actually thought it worked. We'll do the 1 anti-spell, branded players, anything Runic, anything White 4. It don't even matter. I put this against Tenpai. Everything. This goes against Voiceless, everything. So every game 2 that I went first or any game 3 that I went first, these were going in every time. And then because it's rescue, we got to keep the, you know, the tradition. We went with double judgment because it actually comes up. I know everybody, every Tempai player is going to have the lightning storms. So I'm assuming every time that they have the lightning storm, that they have the, you know, the harpies. So if I see it, this deck draws a lot. So this deck when it comes to Prosp, when it comes to the field spell, the draw, the extra draw, will want it. You draw a lot. I noticed that it's been a minute since I played the deck, so I noticed this past week, I drew a lot, top decking a lot of cards. So you maximize your chances of seeing the anti-spell, the judgments, the debaters. So I wanted to maximize on that. If I see it, great. If I don't see it, this is not my win con. I can win without floodgates, you know? My deck is pretty good. Turbulence is very good. Links are very good. And you have to play Rescue Ace on your opponent's turn very, very good and chain to quite a few things in order to maximize the deck and the engine. So yeah, so these are just extra, you know, if you see it, if they lightning storm harpies, great. If not, if they don't have that and they just normal summon a Pydra or something like that, you can get them and then, you know, pretty much GG. And that's the deck.
Nice. Any final words?
Yes, so this is no Fiendsmith. I'm gonna play with the Fiendsmith next month, for this month actually. So anybody that wants to play a pure and you still got a pure, even if you got the supers, the cheap copies, play and you can cook. If you know what you're doing on your turn and playing around your opponent's hand trap and know what, you know, you can cook with the deck and beat anybody. You just need to know the lines with SP, how to dodge the nips, dodge the imperms on the turb. If they nip you before that, you know what to save the preventer, so you can go into a link climb. Depending if they have an Ash or not, or a Fire, you go Hita, and then you go into a Princess Promethean, then get back to Turb, and kind of like set 4 again, and you can still play and set up your turn. You just got to know how to pilot it. Yeah, shout out to everybody.
Yep. Thank you guys. See ya. Thank you.